What's up, everybody? This is Tim from Arm Wrestling Secrets, and I wanted to talk about an often overlooked but very important aspect of arm wrestling, and that is how to deal with the refs at an arm wrestling tournament. Okay, so really important. Okay, so remember, the referee, though he or she or both, sometimes there's one ref. Keep in mind, I don't know how many arm wrestling competitions you've been to, so I'll just real quickly, sometimes there's one ref at a competition, sometimes there's two refs at a competition on separate sides of the table. One's usually watching for elbow fouls, the other one's watching for pins on either side of the table. One basically watches one side of the table, one watches the other. One tries to watch one arm wrestler, one tries to watch the other. It depends on the tournament that you go to, whether there's one ref or two. Okay, and that's that we'll cover cover both scenarios here. Okay, so the ref's really important person. Okay, the ref is basically the person in charge of the match, regardless of the arm wrestlers. Okay, and so you usually don't know the ref. Usually it's a stranger. Okay, so most important, this is just kind of tactical type of things. Okay, remember, the ref's a stranger to you. He's probably a stranger to the opponent. Hopefully they're not best friends. Okay, but it happens. So I would just say this. Okay, so dealing with the ref at an arm wrestling tournament. First of all, they're just a regular person. Okay, how would you want to be treated? Now, I'm starting to get into the arm wrestling secrets here, okay? Dealing with the ref is really, 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 really important. And this is what the whole video is about winning the arm wrestling tournament, winning your matches. Being nice to the ref is a big deal. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you this, okay? Listen to me. Okay, when I go up to the table, and I'm not telling you what to do, I'm telling you what I do. Okay, this is what I do. I endear myself to the ref or the refs. Okay, nobody else is probably going to do this, so I do it. The second I get called up, when I first make contact with the refs, I shake hands with them or fist bump or whatever, and I say, hey, we really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks a lot for doing this. I have endeared myself to the referees. The other guy's probably just going to come up there with his hat backwards maybe and just be like, all right, and he's ready to arm wrestle. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't care, right? He doesn't endear himself to the referees. I'm not asking the referees to do me any favors in the match. I certainly don't expect any, but I have put myself in a position of favor with the referees. Hey, this is a nice guy. This other guy, maybe he's a jerk. I don't know. But as the tournament goes on, whether it's right or wrong, I notice it makes a difference. And like I said, I'm not asking for favors from the ref, but the ref's in charge of a lot of major decisions up there on the table. Okay, that can definitely make a difference in the match. Okay, so moving on from there, and it's not all kiss-ass stuff with the referee. Remember that. You're gonna get all different kinds of refs. Okay, that's the first thing I do, regardless of who the ref is or what their attitude appears to be. Okay, they may just give me a look like, what are you talking about? Okay, or they may be like, all right, no problem, we appreciate it. You never know what the response is going to be. Okay, but I'll say this, moving on. Okay, referee, he's in charge. He, she, both of the people are in charge of your match. Okay, and ultimately, who wins or loses is it's kind of up to them. Do they decide who got pinned? They decide who the elbow flew off the pad. They decide who double fouled and are fouled out of the match. It's up to them, and it's not like there's ESPN replay at these tournaments. You go to a tournament in any regular city or town, even if you get it on videotape, they're not going to replay the match. They're not going to redo the match. Okay, so when the refs make a decision, that's kind of the final decision. And until we get into some futuristic world where arm wrestling becomes there's instant replay in every match, and that'll take forever, believe me, because everybody usually thinks, oh, something happened, that's why I lost, right? Or at least they want to see, because it happens all the time. There's slight elbow fouls, and it's really easy to have happen. And I think everyone who's arm wrestled long enough has probably lost their share of matches due to technical errors on the ref's part. And it's not like they tried to lose the match for you, but I mean, some of these fouls happen in the blink of an eye. Okay, and believe me, I wouldn't want to be a ref at an arm wrestling tournament. I've done that before. It's no fun, because you're basically always wrong in somebody's eyes. Okay, and you really can't see everything, especially if there's only one of you. If there's two of you, you still can't see everything, but you just can't. There's too much going on, and a lot of things happen way just too fast. Okay, and it's easy when you have an instant replay camera playing back at slow motion to say, see what happened with this guy's elbow in light speed, at regular speed, at the speed of the match. the person couldn't see that. They weren't trying to cheat you, or they weren't trying to cheat the opponent, and vice versa, though. Keep this in mind. You're going to win matches based on technical issues where your elbow probably came off, or something happened where you got an advantage, where maybe if there was a better referee, or if he saw what happened, you might have lost the match, or you might have gotten a foul. Okay, so it works both ways. Okay, so think of it that way. Okay, it's not like it's all against you all the time, but that's going to happen. Okay, as far as when you go up to the have your matches, okay, when the referee is setting up the match, you have to know the rules, okay? You have to know how to arm wrestle. You have to have, especially the better and the more savvy you get at it, and the more professional arm wrestlers you take on, and all of you guys who've been arm wrestling a long time know exactly what I'm talking about, the better and more tricky people get with their grip setup. When they go to take a grip at the table, that's the trickiest and most cheatiest part of the sport, and all you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of subtle cheating, and a lot of it's kind of like to see what the refs will let you get away with. Okay, I don't like that kind of arm wrestling. What I will generally do is try to take a very fair grip, a grip that's going to be good for the technique that I plan on using. Keep in mind, your grip's going to be different depending on the technique you're using. The stance is going to be a little bit different. I go into that in my technical series. We'll obviously cover that again soon. Okay, but the grip is where a lot of the cheating happens, and the ref is a really important part of that. Now, you're going to know, especially if you've been arm wrestling a while, you're going to know right away if that ref is paying attention to what this other person is doing or not, and that is your responsibility. Okay, the ref, he doesn't care whether you win or not. Okay, now I want you to remember that right now. The ref or refs don't care whether you win a single match or not. They don't care if you flew 1,000 miles and lost and you have to go home. They don't care if you finish second, third, 90th, if you lose both your matches, or if you win the tournament. They don't care. They don't have an emotional feeling in it. At least that's the way it should be. Okay, so they don't have any emotional feeling about you being cheated at the table. They're trying to do their job, but I've run into a lot of arm wrestling people who get put in the position of being the ref at an arm wrestling tournament that probably haven't arm wrestled as much at all as the people that are in the tournament, and they don't really know what they're doing that well. Okay, they do their best though, and I respect that, and that's the way it is at the tournament, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't say, hey, we got to replace this ref, you know, he doesn't know what he's doing, she doesn't know what she's doing. That's probably not going to work very well. Okay, so when you're dealing with a situation where it's an inexperienced ref, or the opponent's trying to cheat, things like that, or the opponent's doing things, remember, it's your responsibility to make sure there's a fair start. It's also the ref's responsibility, but you have to take a certain responsibility into your own hands, okay? If the ref's just kind of letting the person kind of hook your wrist and turn it before the start and get some kind of an unfair advantage, and you're aware of that, you have to, I wouldn't get in a big fight with the ref or a big fight with the opponent, but you have to bring it to the ref's attention. That's an unfair position. Let them know that's an unfair position, okay? And kind of see how it goes, you know, and you're not trying to get a foul put on yourself, but don't start in an unfair position. Pull your hand out, you know, and you can say, hey, I got a cramp. I have a bone chip on my elbow. I got to move for a second, just a second. And you re-grip, okay? You don't have to say, hey, ref, this guy's cheating. Pull out of the grip, shake it out, turn around, get some chalk, say you need some chalk, okay? Get some chalk, re-grip. Every time you re-grip is a chance to get that grip fixed, okay? And it's not necessarily up to the ref, because if the guy keeps grabbing a grip that you don't like, shake out of it again. Re-grip. You'll get a different grip each time. It's going to be, and once you get the grip where you're like, this is as good as it's gonna get, maybe try to start the match at that point. But remember, there's a certain responsibility you have to share with the referee before your matches and things like that. So I don't want to go on and on in this video. Like I said, there's going to be times where you feel like your arm wasn't all the way down. There's going to feel like where the other guy's arm came off the pad and they didn't see it and you lost. That stuff's going to happen. Don't get in a big arguing match with the ref, because you're going to have to get up there again. Okay, and if he's already, like I said, I endear myself to the ref initially. Okay. You disendear, I don't know if that's a word, but you ruin everything that you've started by getting into it with the ref and saying, hey, you suck, you know, you missed that call. Okay, he's suddenly going to be like, you know, I kind of wish this guy was out of the tournament, actually. Okay, and that's just a human thing. Okay, it's just a human thing. And so respect to the refs. It doesn't mean you have to like everything that happens up there. It's not going to happen, but you have to play the game. And part of the sport is dealing with the ref or refs. Okay, and also at the same time respecting your rights at the table and making sure you get a fair start and making sure to know it's your responsibility along with the ref. So it's kind of a relationship you have to maintain to get yourself through the tournament. So I hope this helped a lot. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.